So yeah, that's what I've been up to, and it's an open-ended gig, so hopefully it'll go on for a little while.
Nice.
Voice role of Wendy in Tens of Thousands, the comic, and that was really, really fun. And an episode of NTSF, which I was new to and had a really good time with.
I am the queen of the world. Well, just on Suits, basically. So I'm doing Suits. We just started shooting our 3rd season. And I'm doing a little moonlighting as my husband's wife on Hannibal. And shopping, eating, and yeah.
I like that show, yeah. It's hardcore. Incredibly, I don't like this. I was invited to play the XO on the guided missile destroyer in Michael Bay's new project for TNT called The Last Ship. It premieres not until June of 2014, but we have time to shoot, so I'll be going to work on that in a couple months. But we did the pilot, and I liked it, tested very well, so we got picked up. It's an exciting. Yeah, back in uniform. Get back in the gym. Yeah, so that's me for the next 2 months, Jim Brown. Yeah, that's my life. I ride my bikes, play with my dogs, shoot my guns.
You like guns? I never would have guessed that, really.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm feeling lots of fanboy love right now, so let's go ahead and ask some questions. We're going to start to the right, we're just going to alternate back and forth until someone says something inappropriate, then I'm going to call security.
Oh, I hope that happens.
Unless, of course, it's one of you that says something inappropriate.
That most definitely will happen.
Are there youngsters in the crowd? There are a few youngsters in the crowd?
Yeah, that looks like
some cues. Oh, yes. Well,
it's like a PG.
That baby won't understand. PG-13 in the crowd. Okay, gotcha.
We're not responsible for therapy payments. Yes, ma'am.
So, Firefly is, by the way, the best of the universe, but if you could be anybody else from all the universe, who would you be and why?
I gotta say, it looks like they got a lot of sleep in on Dollhouse. Sleep is something I'm not getting a whole lot of these days, so I'm gonna go with that.
What would you want to be, Summer?
I think
Yeah, he kept you working.
he did. I think I would have been good as Angel.
Because I was going to say Buffy, and you know what that means. Inappropriate.
Like in the Buffy. Hey, I would like to be Illyria. I already had the best roles in all of Whedonverse, so why would I want another one? Arrogance. I want to be Spike, of course.
Over here.
Hi guys, I'd first like to start by wishing Jewel a happy early birthday for being out today. And I asked this question of Jewel in Ottawa, so I'm going to ask of you guys, what are your current ringtones?
I like that one.
You can answer again.
No.
Let me pull that up.
I can honestly say in about
Do we really have to
52
look it up?
conventions.
Yeah, no, let's see, where is
I've
it?
never heard that answer. That question in 513.
Okay.
So I'm sorry.
I think that's the best ringtone in the world. Communication breakdown.
Wow. Yes, sir.
Hey, I just want to ask Adam real quick. The stunt work on both the show and the
Give me the stunt man. Yes.
movies. I just want to know how much of it was you and how much was
Half. Yeah. Probably about precisely half.
The good half?
The safer half.
The safe half.
But only because of.
Yeah, I'm wondering why you're discriminating. That's kind of like gender bias.
Yeah. All right.
I'm curious.
What's your stunt person's name? Your
You always
latest.
have the same one?
Who's your favorite stunt person that you have work for you? Mine's Bubba.
Bubba?
Tomorrow. Mostly. Yeah.
I love them all. But Bridget and Tree and Sonia, and, yeah, I've done a lot of long nights with those girls. And all
PG-13, guys. PG-13. Hey,
You are filthy. And I like it.
Oh, I never get to do any stunts. We don't have that, you know, I know.
Left.
love to begin.
Yes, I know that you guys use Chinese to get around sensors, and I was wondering if it was really hard for you guys to learn it, and do you guys ever use it, or do you guys have a favorite line?
What does she yell mean?
No idea. Your guys' Chinese is so horrible.
You speak Chinese?
Yes.
Oh. So I'm saying she now wrong.
I have no idea. If it's like two words, like I usually get it. Like,
Right.
Like ash rules aside, the string is what's up. That means not what's up, which means the string is not trash. But yeah, so like you guys go rambling like 5, 6, 7 words, like I'm lost.
Okay, so the question was a setup.
Yeah.
Was it
Security.
hard to learn?
Security.
Yeah. Was it hard? What do we remember? No, it was just as easy to forget.
Yeah, Alan was particularly bad though. And since he's not here, we can talk shit about him.
And they
He was the worst at the Chinese.
the long ones.
And they gave him like, yeah, they gave him paragraphs and like, he couldn't do it. So he was like, and that scene in the movie, you know, that big long shot that starts with, you know, kind of introduces all of us along the thing. And he's supposed to say something. I can't remember what. No, that was English. That wasn't Chinese. It was in English. And they wrote it. He taped it on the console of the ship. So when he's looking down, that's him reading his line. And I'm pretty sure he did that with his Chinese too. Oops. Cat's out of the bag. Hi, Alan. How are you?
All right. So, yeah, Gina's right. That's hard. Too hard for.
Do you feel better now about
You want to come up here and do some Chinese or something?
All right, let's go over here to the right.
All right, Mr. Adamant, thank you for your service in New Mombasa. Between the character Jane and your character of ESD, who do you think would win in the fight?
Wow. This is mostly a Firefly crowd. I'll say Jane.
If you were allowed to bring the grenades.
Right. Yeah, right.
Over here.
On the set for the show,
What, if anything, did you learn from your fellow actors and actresses?
That they hate my music.
I wouldn't say hate.
No.
The thing I learned was from you. No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's okay. Relax. Adam would frequently have a prop in his hand, and he would always be doing something, even if the scene had nothing to do with Adam. He would be doing something, and you guys are dirty. Whoa. And we talked about it one day, and I was like, "You always have a prop." And he said, "But you know what? When you're doing something and you're in the background, the editor has no choice but to cut to you, so you're in the scene more."
What? Yep.
I was just reminded every day of how important the sense of play was when you're working. We are so fortunate to be living the dream, as it were, and get to do what we love to do, what we dreamed of doing as kids. And so when you get into the sandbox with all your little playmates and you just get to have fun, it's the best. And so you just try to bring that to whatever you get to do. And everyone's game. Bunch of fools. In the best way.
You're right. They're all fearless to play the fool. And I remember all of your laughter on it because Nathan was like the instigator. He would try to make people laugh all the time. But you were the ones doing most of the laughing because he just figured out how to push y'all's buttons. It was just, but it became infectious. And then Joss would be like, enough.
Try to give this direction. Nathan was telling a story, we were all laughing. He was like, Nathan, what did I just say? And Nathan was like, I don't know. And he was like, what have we learned from this, Nathan? And Nathan was like, Joss is boss.
Summer, did you have anything?
Yeah, Joss was boss, but Nathan was also a really, really great captain. And not just on set, but off set, how he treated everyone. That's what I learned most. I mean, I learned a lot of things, like how to get my mark and how to be on camera, because the cameraman sometimes had to move me from behind the camera to get me on my mark. I mean, that was really good. I learned how to do it since then, though. And, but the thing that I remember most is just watching how he, how he treated everybody, and how happy he was to be on set, and how gracious.
Yeah, Nathan was a true leader. He was our department head, if you will. But like you say, he was always lifting everybody up and carrying us on his shoulders. And, he had the lion's share of the workload and all that stuff. He just carried us along, so with great cheer. So, and he led with love. He didn't lead any love to Philadelphia this weekend, but we're just
I'm on Nathan's shoulders right now.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to introduce the first heavy question. One of the most constant criticisms that I've seen of Firefly, other than being canceled, of course, is that it takes place in a world that's half Chinese, but there's no Chinese representation. I was wondering if you had any response to that, or if you have any plans to include Chinese actors in the future.
Political correctness is evil.
Where's our Chinese guy? Would you like to address that?
I always thought it was because the Chinese were the wealthiest and we were the poorest. So our circles that we rolled in were the poor circles, the people that were really struggling.
Yeah, we were the 99%. Hey?
All right.
And it goes downhill from there. Next question.
Hi, welcome to Philadelphia. In the episode of Martin Gold, we know Gene got his play with the girls of Wild Bowl. Joel, did you get to get any play with the winners?
What's happening today? No, I don't, it took Haley a long time to get lucky. That's what broke my heart the most when we got canceled. I'm serious.
Now wait a minute, weren't you getting lucky? Yeah. Weren't you getting lucky in the pilot episode in the back? By
Yeah,
the
but that was in the past. That was
okay.
there was a long lull. There was a big lull in there. And Sean and I were both like, oh man, we never go together.
That's what your bunk is for.
So gross. I saw that you signed one of the post-its today, I'll be in my bunk.
And I've modified it now. Let's be bad guys in our bunks.
I love that. All class.
With a capital S.
Captain, are you going to clean this up a little bit?
There are a couple unofficial Firefly drinking games done around the internet. So, what would your rules be for your version of Firefly?
Mine's easy. Sir.
Say like anytime Jane grunted, but then you'd be like hammered.
Summer, what would your drinking game be?
I've never had to play a drinking game before.
Well, let's start that right now.
Oh, that's Summer. Drinking game. Jeez. I drank, I don't know. Depends on what meaning of the word don't is. I guess every time I saw a beer, I think hard.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, guys? So I was just curious, how did you guys feel about wash diving?
Whoa, thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
I think it needed to be a bigger harpoon and it needed to go by even more quickly. It needed to be more in a blinking of an eye that he was dead. None of this lingering on it. None of these slow death scenes for Wash. So he can milk it. Just bam, dead, gone. Oh, that was the director's cut.
I was devastated. I was devastated. He's the best pretend husband I've ever had. He's the only pretend husband. No, because I ended up killing mine on 24. That wasn't a good marriage. Yeah, but I never get any. So, it was really sad. Rambling.
And now your real husband is your pretend husband at the same time.
Yes, and I'm done. Oh, spoiler alert, sorry. Oh, come on. Half of you were online, and you know that.
So he makes you laugh.
Yes.
Funny.
Yes. He kills me.
Hilarious.
Summer, did you want to comment on Wash's untimely death?
Well, I think I should say it's sad, although there was more room up there. You know, somebody else. Thank you. I thought so too.
Jewel?
It was super sad. I'm just glad it wasn't me. I am. We all are, guys. Yeah.
He basically took the hit for the team. Is that
Yeah, he did. He's a real team player, that watch.
Josh was like, someone's gonna die. Yes. Your turn? Yeah. I apologize.
So you all spoken a little bit about things that happened on set that you remember. When Krista Carpenter spoke earlier today, she mentioned that she felt that her time on Buffy and Angel was like a master class in acting in terms of the emotional range that she had to go through and all the changes for her characters. So my question for each of you is, as an actor, related to specifically the craft of acting, what lessons have you taken away from your work in Firefly that have informed other characters you portrayed?
That was deep.
Work closely with your prop master. It's very important. I took it even closer. Actually, it's funny. A guy came up today with a screenplay and it had Skip Crank, prop master, on the script. He had somehow gotten his hands on it. And Skip and I worked really closely together. He helped me figure out the whole belt and the guns and the whatever rifles I was working with. So that was something that I really dove headfirst into. I think that's the first time I really figured out that Jane had been doing something all the time to even people's distractions.
Have you taken that into other characters?
All of them since.
Zoe was a great lesson in stillness. She didn't say much, but like Adam and his props, I had to figure out how to be very present in every scene that I was in, regardless of whether I had anything to say or not. And I think that's very important because, you know, the editors tell you later, you're doing something, you know, your reaction to this or where you were, it gives them something to cut to. It lets them open up the scene a little bit more and let you guys in more as to, you know, what we're thinking. So I was always thinking, I always had to be there, available, and open and present. So yes, that's something you use all the time.
For me, it would just be trusting my gut instincts, which is. Just what I learned from you. Yeah, just trying not to be afraid, you know, because I was new and I did have to do some things that were, you know, kind of pushing it, you know, taking risks. And, yeah, thanks. Yeah, they did. They did. I learned the hard way on that. I came down for my first big scene in the pilot, and I'd been waiting to do the scene where I jump out of the box. And it was time for me to rehearse it. I remember I really did the first rehearsal full out. And everybody was so freaked out because I didn't know, you know, in rehearsal you kind of warm up into it. You figure out where you're going to stand, how you're going to fall out of the box, and, you know, make sure nobody gets hurt. And I just went full out. And afterwards, Josh came up to me and he was like, wow, yeah, that was full out. And everybody was just silent afterwards.
Yeah, I'm over there going, whoa, no big
Yeah, but just learning to feel safe and trusting going forward.
Yeah, I would say trust your instincts too, because I remember a particular scene in Objects in Space, with Early in the engine room, and we did one take. Sorry, I just picked my notes. It's gross. We did one take, and then Joss said, "Okay, well now I want you to do you want to do. So let's take Spreo. And so we did one, and that's the one we used. And he's like, that's what I really wanted. And it's like, why were you holding all of that back? And I was like, I don't know, I didn't think that you would want me to do that. And he's like, always trust your instincts. Your first instinct is right. And I was 19, and you know, it was nice to hear it and take that with me. Because I'm 21 now. 22 tomorrow. But yeah, that's an important thing to do as an actor. And I think that's something that, you know, especially early on, you're nervous to do, because you don't want to do the wrong thing.
Thank you.
And back to you.
Good afternoon, all of you. Congratulations to each one of you for your careers so far. I mean, beyond Firefly, you all have phenomenal careers, and congratulations to each one. My question is, Joss Whedon is awesome. I love everything Joss has done. And do any of you have plans to work with him in the future? And if you, or if you don't, do you wish to work with him again? Do you enjoy working with him?
Wasn't me.
He doesn't return my calls.
Josh is one of those guys that says, you know, jump, you say how high. And if he calls and he wants to hire us again, I'm sure we would all agree to go be in his world anytime. He's very busy now. He has a full plate, so when we were down at Comic-Con last year when we did the 10th anniversary, Josh said something very poignant. He said that, you know, because we always get the question, are you going to do it again? Is there going to be more episodes? Are you going to do another movie, animated, blah, blah, blah. And we all want to, and we all fantasize that we can, and perhaps we can. But he also said that it's like this beautiful, shining city on the hill, the Camelot. It just sits there, and it's beautiful, and we're all part of it. And it would be really risky to try and do it again to live up to what's been created. So there's that sort of fear that we all have, because we're all fearful creatures. And there's a lot to be said for that. Now, see, I would love to do an animated part. That'd be great. I love doing voiceovers too, because you don't have to shave, you know, your jammies.
Don't have to get back into those tight bands.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do fewer sit-ups. But yeah, Joss is just amazing to work with. He's beautiful, man.
I think we all have really good memories of it too.
Yeah.
And I know I associate nothing but really good memories with him. So I would say yes.
It was my first time, I think, at that point working with somebody who had created a world that was so complete, and the people in it were so beautifully fleshed out, and to inhabit that world, and to have him guide you through it, because it was so completely alien. It was a gift, absolutely a gift, and you guys keep experiencing that, and we're here, and yes, it's true. It was, you know, to be able to do Serenity after your show is, to be able to do a feature film after your television show has been canceled, not even after a full season. To ask for more than that just doesn't seem right. It's perfect just as it is. We got to kiss it goodbye. We got to wrap it up and, you know, kiss it goodbye in a really beautiful way. Even though there wasn't a pretty high body count.
Summer?
Yeah.
Enough said.
Agreed.
Thank you all for being here, for coming to me. That's lovely.
Thank you.
First off, happy birthday, early birthday. I've been told that they have baskets full of strawberries waiting for you back.
Oh, Lord.
So it's really exciting. Also, my question is, who put the potato in Nathan's tailpipe?
Well, the context is that Nathan bragged about this new stupid truck that he had. I'm getting a new truck. When you see it, it's great. I got this fabulous truck. Yay! So when it finally arrived, time for salsa.
You never did figure out who that
I did the gummy work. I did the gummy work. We don't know who did the clacking. The clacking is on those crankshaft or the potato in the pipe. Someone put 3 gigantic zip ties on his crankshaft. This is not a euphemism, girls. Cars have crankshafts, you know, that long rod that makes the engine go. Anyway, so somebody put these big,
There's no getting out of this one.
big old zip ties.
Not getting out of it.
When he drove away, clacking. He was like, what is that? Oh, it's broken. I just got it. We didn't figure out that that wasn't either. It's still a mystery.
Sort of thing out.
I would do a potato.
Hi. As you may be aware, there's been a very successful Kickstarter to bring Veronica Mars back. And now the pressure is mounting. A lot of people are saying that Firefly deserves the same thing. Let's fantasize that it does happen. If you could bring back your character, because all of you survived, what would you like to do with your character? What would you like to show? What would you like to demonstrate? Would you like to take it in a different direction? If it was possible, what would you do?
What would you like to do?
I've said this before, I will say it again. I believe Zoe was pregnant in Serenity. So I like to think that there's this, you know, little karma, pinky-haired, red-haired child. Yes, that's where I was.
What did
I don't like
what,
the flavor.
wait, how did you back
What's
Did you
hybrid?
say caramel, pinky-haired,
red-headed.
You guys,
Beast of a child.
you put Alan in prosthetics, and then I could be the baby.
You're a great baby.
It'd be the best baby. It'd be the creepiest baby. That's the baby.
I love it.
Best pedal ever.
How about you guys? What would you want to be when you grew up?
River was going to start her own business. This is what I said before. You know, now that she's going to be the pilot, she gets to decide where we go from now on. And I can drive everywhere and you know, sell things and start my own business and then of course get a boyfriend.
I think I always wanted to meet Kaylee's dad. I wanted her to take Simon home and have Simon be a fish out of water. Kaylee's dad's farm. I thought that would be fun. And then they could like have babies and stuff too. Like have a whole bunch of babies.
I think Jane would open a franchise of companion schools. Sort of the headmaster. The head bunk master.
Are you gonna wear a toga?
Ah, that's a great idea. I like it. Knitted toga. A crocheted orange toga.
A yarn toga?
A yarn toga with pom-poms. Strategically placed pom-poms.
Get canceled again. I don't think that spells renewal.
I just threw up a little in my mind.
So did we all. Yes.
I have a bit of a heavy question. And you're
say no, I won't take it personally, but no.
You will take it personally?
I swear, I was kidding. My girlfriend said to that, she'd be really pissed at me. But no, my question is, with everything you've accomplished in your lives and your professions, and as famous as you are amongst other geeks, how often do you let this go through your head, that you're this popular?
Who are you anyway? Ridiculous. What? Who is this? Hey, come on.
Security.
Go get me a sandwich.
Go be in his trailer.
Enough of this. Never.
Yeah, we're all just kind of normal people, bro.
Outside of these walls,
Yeah, we floss. Sometimes we forget to floss. We pick up our dry cleaning. I don't know.
I just wasn't sure, because I know a lot of times, sometimes you can get people's heads.
And can you describe someone that you witnessed who has a swollen head, no particular names, but like, what would their attributes be besides telling you to go get a sandwich? No names. Yeah, no. Okay.
Not saying names.
Okay, good. No names.
I think we know what we're talking about.
Okay, no names. The attributes would be what?
Arrogance, happiness.
Yeah. All that.
Do I really need to keep going?
But I think all that stuff is just a cover-up for insecurity, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're secure with who you are and you know, down to earth with what's real and what's not, yeah.
I think it's pretty universal. If people are being a jerk, it's because they have fear of something.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
generally the imposter syndrome. I don't belong here. So I gotta exert my power over someone, you know, in a petty way. I don't like petty people.
So what do you want in your sandwich?
How about a nice turkey sandwich?
Calling me a turkey?
Whoa.
I'll take a tuna-roni on rye.
Exactly, right.
Tuna-roni's in chocolate.
We just have time for a couple of more questions, Jen. Right there.
Johnny keeps coming up, and I'd like to point out that in China right now, it actually is your birthday.
Yay, happy birthday, China, to me!
So I wish you happy birthday.
Gung Hei.
Good work.
I think we should sing to her now.
No.
And 1, and 2, and 3, and happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Julie. Happy birthday to you.
So sweet.
Ow.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Gina.
Hi.
You were my favorite bad guy in the Joshua universe. I have never seen such a powerful creature like you in the Joshua universe around the world. That everybody genuflected to you to see this beautiful black woman who was this powerful evil being. Because I heard her, I've never seen anyone. So to this day, you're my favorite bad guy in the Joshua universe. And my question to you guys is, who's your favorite bad guy?
I loved the operative in Serenity. Yeah. I just loved how romantic he was about murder. It's fine. Yeah.
Ishka.
really interesting. I love working with him too.
He was kind of a bad guy. Because they shot your brother.
I don't know. I kind of, yeah.
I love that line. He said, "Am I a lion?"
So creepy.
And Badger, of course. Badger's our lovable bad guy. One of my favorite lines of his is from Smiley. He goes, "Let me see your teeth." He's so dismissive and cruel.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I was wondering, as your characters, what your favorite place on board Serenity is, or your character's favorite place on board, their favorite room, and what they'd like to do there. I think I probably know Adam's answer.
No, you don't. It's not the bunk. My favorite, well, I like the lounge area outside the infirmary, but my favorite was up on the catwalk because I like to go up there while they were shooting down below and you can just watch the choreography of our fabulous crew. Alan Easton, he was most of it's handheld, and Alan had that camera on his shoulder for pretty much the whole show. And to watch him dance around with that 80-pound camera on his shoulder was something to behold. So I used to hang out around there in the eaves.
Catwalk's great. I like the kitchen, and I like the kitchen because I loved all those wacky, like dinner scenes that we would do. Like whenever we were all together, it was a madhouse. It was great because so much of us, like I was always out with the guys. I was always, doing the whatever job it was. And so I so rarely got to spend time with the girls, and it was only when we were together having a meal or trying to figure out what we're all going to do next as, on the ship. Those are my favorite memories.
Yeah. It sounds like Ron's laugh. The kitchen does. Whenever we would have those dinners together, that's what that reminds me of. I really love the cargo bay. I don't know. I just have really, really great memories in there.
Like stumbling naked out of the box.
Yeah. That one.
I like that little common area too, outside of the infirmary. But the couch, I don't know if you remember, it smelled like cat pee. Remember?
Yeah.
It's
Whose cat
there
was
all
that?
these stray cats.
Oh yeah, because on the lot they have these little feral cats that kept the rodents away, but they would mark everything as cats do.
Yeah.
Any cat people out there? Yeah, it did stink.
Yes. We still sat on that couch though.
And it was shag, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was this little shag rug and this little low table.
Yeah.
It's okay, we were kind of a grimy crew, so yeah, it's all right. We have to be too frou-frou, so it's all right. Stink.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes a round of applause for the cast from Firefly.